Hello, dedicated fans of Our Lives. Welcome back to our channel where we dive deep into the twists, betrayals, and unbreakable family legacies that Salem's spinning. Today, we're turning our spotlight on one of the most compelling and chilling developments to hit the Din dynasty in years. Is EJ poised? EJ DiMera and the haunting question on everyone's lips, is EJ poised to become the new Stefano? The Phoenix may have finally been laid to rest, but his shadow looms larger than ever, and this week's preview has sent shockwaves through the fandom.
It all unfolded in the latest gripping preview for the week of February 9th to 13th, amid a somber gathering in the DiMera family crypt. The DiMera say Chad, Kristen, Tony, and Thea stood together to bid a final, proper farewell to their patriarch, Stefano DiMera. After years of resurrections, schemes, and the infamous Phoenix rising from the ashes, Stefano's remains were at last placed in their eternal resting spot. Emotions ran high as the family reflected on a man who loved fiercely, manipulated ruthlessly, and built an empire on cunning and control. EJ, ever the protective eldest son, stood tall and declared with steely resolve that the house of DiMera would endure no matter the cost. But the true bombshell came in a private, tension-filled moment away from the others. Dr. Wilhelm Rolf, the mad genius who has brought so many back from the brink and sometimes worse, approached EJ alone. With his signature cryptic demeanor, Rolf revealed that he had been entrusted with one final, sacred instruction from Stefano himself delivered before his ultimate end. "Your father's last wish was to give you this gift," Rolf intoned, his voice low and reverent. Then, in a gesture loaded with dark symbolism, Rolf extended his hand. There, gleaming under the dim crypt lights, was Stefano's treasured black onyx ring, the iconic piece engraved with the majestic phoenix, the very emblem of eternal rebirth and unyielding power. This wasn't just any heirloom, it's the ring that has come to define the DiMera legacy, whispered to hold almost supernatural significance in Stefano's endless cycle of death and return. The moment EJ's eyes locked on it, the air seemed to thicken with destiny. As Rolf placed the ring in EJ's palm, fans everywhere felt the chill. EJ hesitated only briefly before slipping it onto his finger. The camera lingered on that black stone, the phoenix carving catching the light like a promise-year warning. In that instant, something shifted. The man who has spent years balancing ambition with flashes of conscience now wore the unmistakable mark of his father's dark throne. Is this the crowning of a new phoenix? Will EJ fully embrace the ruthless cunning, the Machiavellian plots, and the iron-fisted control that made Stefano the most feared man in Salem? The implications are staggering. EJ has always carried echoes of his father's sharp intellect, the strategic mind, the willingness to bend morality for family and power. But this ring isn't merely jewelry, it's a mantle. Throughout Days of Our Lives history, whoever has worn the Phoenix ring has stepped into a role of dominance over the DiMera Empire, often at great personal and moral cost. Past wearers have seen their lives transformed, their darker impulses amplified. Could we now witness EJ shedding any remaining restraint, becoming the perfect replica of the man who once orchestrated brainwashing, corporate takeovers, and even his own deaths? The timing couldn't be more dramatic. With recent DiMera deaths stirring up massive inheritance battles, including whispers of Gabby potentially claiming a huge share of the fortune, the family is more fractured and vulnerable than ever. EJ, now adorned with his father's symbol, may see this as his moment to unify the dynasty under his unchallenged rule by any means necessary. Will he turn to Dr. Rolf for more of those forbidden miracles? Will old enemies sense the shift and strike first? Or will this gift awaken something irreversible in EJ, pulling him deeper into the abyss his father once ruled? Only time and the upcoming episodes will tell how this electrifying storyline unfolds. But one thing is clear, the Phoenix legend refuses to die quietly, and EJ DiMera stands at the center of its fiery rebirth.
What do you think, DOOL fans? Is EJ destined to become the new Stefano, or will he fight the pull of that ominous ring? Drop your theories, predictions, and hottest takes in the comments below. We're dying to discuss this with you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more Salem scoops. Until next time, may your days be filled with drama, just like ours in Salem.